On today's show,
Derrick Rose has a torn meniscus and needs surgery. This is not a recording and we are sad.
in Mailbox, we'll show you Larry Sanders' heartfelt video message in which he describes why he's walking away from basketball.
And we'll discuss the on-court argument between Rondo and Rick Carlisle.
It's Wednesday, February 25th. The starter starts now.
Good day, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're joining us live online, listening to the podcast, or catching us on NBA TV, always happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets. Alongside me, also as always, Tass Mellis.
Thanks for joining us.
To my right, Starters blog editor Trey Kirby.
Heyo.
Heyo! And finally, international man of mystery, Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Yes, friend.
Lee, all right, as we said there in the intro, we'll get to the mailbox. You guys have been great at sending in your questions. We'll talk about the Rondo-Rick Carlisle on-court beef, if you will. But first, we have some depressing news to address. Derrick Rose, set to undergo serious knee surgery for the third time in 3 years. Bulls announced this last night, that the star point guard, former MVP, is undergoing surgery to repair the medial meniscus in his right knee, the same one that was the last injury. We know he's had some damage there done to the left, of course, as well. No timetable as of right now set for his return until he even goes under the surgery, and we don't even know what particular type of surgery he's going to have. I'm sure we're going to get into that, but this is terribly depressing.
Yeah, and there's obviously been a lot of doubt about Derrick Rose because of those previous surgeries. So you're going to hear a lot of people say today, oh, he's done. He's done. First of all, do not listen to those people.
Okay.
Second of all, just delete their numbers from your phone. You don't want to talk to people like that whatsoever. We don't know if he's done. What we do know is he's not going to have the career that we once all hoped, and that's why we saw the outpouring of messages from his NBA colleagues, all the players, so sorry to see Derrick Rose and what he has gone through, what he has fought through to get back, and unfortunately he's not going to get to that same level that we saw in 2011. That's for certain. Will we see him again? I definitely hope so, and I definitely think so, the way he likes to and just has fought through injury before.
And look, he hasn't been dominant this season. I mean, Trey, you're a Bulls fan. I think you can attest to that as well. He's had flashes. I mean, he had that great game against the Cavs before the All-Star break, a couple good games here and there. But he has struggled, especially post-All-Star break. Couldn't shoot the basketball at all. But yeah, we thought he was on his way to becoming the old Derrick Rose. There were those little flashes of brilliance, and this is just an unbelievable setback at probably the worst possible timing when you consider after the trade deadline. And yeah, if this happens, you know, a week or two prior, maybe the Bulls sort of can make a move and salvage the season. But yeah, this is just unfortunate.
Yeah, this is definitely the saddest of his 3 surgeries for me. The first one, I was just mad that it happened at all. The second one, it was just like, you can't believe it that it would happen again. This one, it was like nothing specific even happened. Yeah. Nobody knows when he got hurt.
Right.
Like you were saying, he had played 19 straight games, by far the longest consecutive stretch since his first injury. Just a super bummer. He has always been a basketball first and only guy. We remember him not dancing at the All-Star game because it wasn't the proper time. So this, yet again, having basketball taken away, such a bummer.
That explosiveness that we know him from in his early days, we'll probably never see that again. But I still think he's young enough that he can come back and still have a very successful career. Could still potentially be an All-Star as well.
He'll be back this year. Who knows?
Well, possibly, yeah. But he's always handled these injuries actually really well. He's been positive in his press conferences. We'll wait and see how he is in for this one. But for a guy like this, as much as the physical injury is bad, it's the mental injury now that he has to once again rehab himself, once again go through that process. You know, he's lying in a hospital bed just thinking about everything, and then he has to get back there and rehab his knees again.
It's impossible to not think of guys like Penny Hardaway, you know, who had his own knee issues and foot issues. Grant Hill with the bum ankle, guys that at the beginning of their career were explosive, were Hall of Fame locks, it looked like, you know, with these two guys, and Brandon Roy you could throw in the mix too. And then, you know, their careers just cut short, diminished, whatever you want to call it, because of injuries. Penny, Grant, they obviously played a long time. They stuck around in the season, but just were never that, again, sort of superstar Hall of Fame, you know, star player on a team. That's unfortunate.
The announcement kind of felt like an end of an era to me. Like we said, Rose hasn't really been himself since he came back this year. The Bulls are playing more like a Pau Gasol team. They're slow. Their offense is better, but their defense isn't very good. And now it just seems to me like he's probably never going to be the unquestioned go-to guy for the Bulls again. And that's just a super sad thing.
And he's going to miss, you know, again, we don't know, but probably a good chunk of the season, of course, a remainder of the season, possibly the whole thing, at a time when he is surrounded by the best talent he's ever been surrounded with. With Pau Gasol coming in there, Jimmy Butler taking the next step. This was a team, despite struggling at times, we all sat here and still said, oh yeah, I mean, they're the ones that very likely will be seeing the Cavs come to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't think you can sit here today and say the same thing.
No, but I wouldn't put it in past term to say this team is done this season, because who knows how long it takes for him to come back. If he comes back in 6 to 8 weeks, which is a serious possibility, I'm sure he wants to take his time and repair it, but it is a possibility that they sort of snip that part of the meniscus out.
Right.
And just like Westbrook, who came back after a couple months, just like his teammate McDermott, who was walked out of surgery, you know, without the use of crutches, he could come back. And because, like you mentioned, Trey, this isn't a Derrick Rose-focused team, he could come back and be sort of a complementary piece. Obviously, this reduces their playoff chances significantly.
You can repair the meniscus or you can remove it. And we've seen guys do both. You're shuddering. You don't
well,
like
because Brandon Roy, it just brings back nightmares of Brandon Roy. They removed it. They said it was bone on bone, and his career basically ended.
When you remove it, you can come back quicker, so to speak. But yeah, you run the risk of long-term health issues, and that bone on bone. And a lot of guys have done it. You know, Chris Paul in the mix. I believe Eric Bledsoe was another guy that did that.
And if it was torn in the same area, Casey Johnson reported that most likely you do have to remove it, which means again he would be back, but long-term arthritis can build up, just a lot of problems. And we heard Derrick Rose earlier this season sort of point to his post-playing career and say, you know, I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to go into meetings was the term that everybody sort of made fun of. This man deserves to be able to do that. So, you know, we would expect, being, you know, his past sort of talk and his past surgeries, we'd expect him to take his time before he would come back.
And he had been doing that. I mean, he took his time, of course, coming back from the other couple of injuries, even resting here and there when there was sort of knee issues.
Yeah, and you don't need a meniscus to be able to walk. You don't need a meniscus to live your life as an NBA player, but you're going to need a meniscus if you play the way Derrick Rose used to play. And I think the way that no matter what happens, if they snip it or if they repair it, he's just obviously not going to be the guy he was before. He kind of rivaled LeBron athletically before. Even harder to watch when you consider what's happened with Russell Westbrook. Those guys were like the exact same player, basically, and Westbrook seems to get better and better every surgery he gets. And
Russell Westbrook is a cyborg, okay? Russell Westbrook is not human. I think we've learned that. We aren't going to see, unfortunately, because these are incredible clips, where be it Rose is throwing down two-hand dunks on Dragic, the one-hand alley-oops that he used to do back in his early days when this guy was an MVP. Another thing, I saw someone post this in a comment section, how Derrick Rose could be the first NBA MVP to, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but to never make the Hall of Fame. You look at all the guys that aren't in it that have won one, you got to assume your Iversons and your Nashes and your Dirks, they're going in eventually. You know, again, Derrick Rose, you knock on anything, hope he comes back and he's great, but it's possible that he might be the first guy to not make it in there.
Yeah, it is possible because, again, you look at Grant Hill, like I mentioned earlier, he had a very successful career, but he was never that same player that we saw in Detroit. But he had a long career and was very good for the Phoenix Suns teams. But I guess for the Chicago Bulls, at least we've seen over the last couple of years when they haven't had Rose, they've still been very, very competitive. They've still made the playoffs. And obviously the Bulls will still make the playoffs in the East. I think it's very, very difficult to see them beating possibly the Cavs and the Hawks.
I know, you start thinking, can you get to the conference finals? Maybe a first round, absolutely.
First round for sure.
What do the Bulls do, though? I mean, again, it's unfortunate timing. It comes after the trade deadline. I know a lot of people are throwing around the name Nate Robinson, former Bulls player who had some great quarters, some great games for the Bulls when he was there a couple of years ago, but his name being floated around because he's available and could be at least signed to a 10-day or so.
Yeah, him and Mike James are the names that have been bandied about. Another name from Bulls lore of past hilarious times. But I don't know. I'm sure they will have Aaron Brooks step up. He's going to take a ton of shots. The Bulls seem to always do well when they have a tiny point guard who loves to shoot the ball, and it always works out okay. The good thing is they have Jimmy Butler, they have Pau Gasol. They at least have options now, and maybe Joakim Noah gets a little more involved.
Yeah, and they're 7-4 without Derrick Rose this season, and we know, you asked whether or not Derrick Rose can mentally fight back from this. Well, this team, as we know, will fight through anything. Do you want to face this team in the first round? Sans Derrick Rose, even if Derrick Rose isn't there? I don't think so at all.
They lost 4-1 in the first round last year.
That's true, to the Wiz. You're absolutely right. All right, well, lots more. Hopefully, we'll be talking about this in the coming days when we learn a little bit more about what route he's going to take for surgery and when maybe his timetable is. We got to take a break right now, though. When we come back, let's have some fun. Let's try to at least. We'll open up the starters mailbox. Some great questions from you guys. One involving Larry Sanders. Come on back. You're watching the starters. Back with the starters into the mailbox. You guys are great at sending in your questions. Keep them coming. The starters at NBA.com. Got a few for you here today. First one. Hey guys, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the new Larry Sanders video that was posted on the Players Tribune this morning. In it, Sanders sheds some light on why he left the Bucks and why he has no intention of returning to basketball anytime soon. Pretty wild stuff. What do you think? That's from Kenneth S. And we have actually a little short excerpt of the clip. Here it is.
I disappeared for a while. People were wondering where I was. I actually entered into Rogers Memorial Hospital, and it was a program for anxiety and depression, mood disorders. I think I love basketball. I always be playing basketball, but you know, for it to be consuming so much of my life and time right now, that's it's not there for me. It's not that worth it. You know, I'm at a point where I'm excited about devoting my energy to these positive things in people and making a difference in this unseen world.
So there it is. Again, that was just a short clip of the about 5+ minutes of this thing. I highly encourage you to check it out. It is an interesting watch, and to hear the player himself, Larry Sanders in this case, tell it as it is, why he left basketball. It is a little weird, but he seems happy in it.
Yeah, it's an odd situation, but to hear from his mouth, he seems like he's definitely happier, in a happier place where he is, and there's a lot of ignorant people who are just coming out and screaming, yelling on social media at him, saying, come on. I mean, where's your head at? And fortunately, his head is in a better place. Definitely. And he is definitely a happier man, and you should watch that video and understand where Larry Sanders is coming from.
You're not going to see an athlete be much more honest than he is in this video.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a lot easier to leave after you've made $20 million. It's very similar to the Ricky Williams situation back in the day, but he seems a lot happier, and maybe he'll be back someday. He's still a super young guy.
I think a lot of, especially big guys in the NBA, are sort of geared towards basketball because of their size. And basketball, in a way, chooses them. They don't just get to sometimes choose basketball. And I think that's exactly, you know, I don't know for sure that's exactly what's happening here with Larry Sanders, but you can be sure that's happened over time.
For sure.
Of big, giant guys just being really told, hey, you should play basketball. But they maybe don't really enjoy it. What people on social media go crazy about is, hey, man, you just made millions of dollars from this organization, and then you just decided to walk away. And people also can't understand why you would, you know, leave millions, because it was a buyout, so he left millions to walk away from playing a game that everyone, of course, wants to do.
I think Larry loves basketball from the day he got into the game and decided basketball was his passion in the first place.
But it's different when it becomes your job. Anybody can end up hating their job, right?
For sure.
So anybody at any job can get upset, and when you get upset at your job, you just want to leave it, and that's what's happened here.
It takes courage to walk away in that situation. A lot of guys would just fight through it, but he's obviously felt that it's better for him to address these personal issues, and now has come out better for it. And hopefully, we do see him back at some point.
I was going to say, he's not saying, I'm done for good, I'm retired. You know, it's a possibility that we do see Larry Sanders in a year or two or whatever it takes. Anyway, it's a very interesting situation here. Again, check out that video. All right, next question. Basketball in the NBA has evolved over the years from a league that was full of mid-range maestros to a league where many teams have a key or three mentality. Who of past NBA players do you think would benefit the most from the current style of play in the NBA? This coming from Jason Wegner, who I believe made yesterday's show with his starters fan sign. This is a fun question. Lee, I know you love this, but anyone jump out to you?
It's going to sound ridiculous to say since he's a Hall of Famer and 3-time MVP, but Larry Bird would probably be even better if he played right now. He never made 100 threes in a season. The most he attempted per game in a year was 3.3. Think of the things he would be able to do, the way the court is so wide open now, the way three-pointers are emphasized. Also, he had better medicine these days, probably could have had a longer career, and longer shorts these days. Would have been great for all of us. Plus, haircut technology has improved tenfold since
Disagree in the shorts.
Larry Bird is a good pick, though. You're right.
He would be
one of the best passers
even
of all
more
time.
dominant today.
You would think so. What about you, Lee? Who you got?
The guy who Larry Bird said defended him the best of all time was Michael Cooper from the LA Lakers. He was a typical 3-and-D guy that we see today, but he was one of the first to adopt it back in the 80s. He would come off the bench, shoot three-pointers. He shot, in the last 5 seasons of his career, averaged nearly 3 a game, which doesn't sound that much considering today's game, but back then teams only averaged 5 or so a game. Right. He was the prototypical guy that we need today, a guy who can come off the bench. He won Defensive Player of the Year in 1987, defended the opposite team's best player, and then went down and knocked down three-pointers. And the three-pointer then wasn't really a play designed for you. It was more, you had to get it in the offense, and that's what he did, and he was brilliant at it.
The best thing to come out of this question is the key or three.
I like it.
Term that Jason Wegner used. Key or three, that's new. 3 or key or 3. Yeah,
mid-range maestros. I don't even mind that. Let's hear what people think. We throw that one at you guys. Jump on Twitter, #TheStarters. Who from years past do you see just flourishing in today's game? The 3 or what was it?
Three or key.
Key or three.
Key or 3, whatever you want to look at.
3 or key, 3 and D.
All right, final one here. Oh, it's about wedgies. All right. Since this year has been groundbreaking in the field of wedgies, which it has, which useless but fun stat do you think would be worth recording next season? I would suggest tracking the number of botched inbounds passes since it's been so topical recently. That's from Hugh, coming from Scotland. So Hugh,
that ball is wedged right in there.
Yeah,
it is really squished.
Yeah, you're right.
Field of wedgies.
We track our wedgies. What are we at? We're at 33. Haven't had one in a couple days, so we're due for one maybe tonight. I like the idea, if we're done with wedgies, about possibly tracking spilled courtside drinks.
Right.
And you could even see us starting to put up for every spilled drink, like a beer bottle up on set. You know, we just add to it until we're just.
We have to drink one on set.
Because we've seen, you know, this is pretty frequent now.
Yeah.
We've got guys hustling in there. Randy Foy recently. Mason Plumlee, the best one.
Yeah.
Took out 6 or 7, took out a whole tray of suds. So, yeah, I think we could count those.
Yeah,
Possibility.
sure.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great idea.
Any other suggestions?
I would love to see dribbles per game tracked. I know SportView actually tracks dribbles per game, but it's not something that's widely available. It'd be really interesting to see which players are dribbling too much. You'd be able to figure out who has the best handle in the game, I feel like, if you're able to track who's getting where and where they're trying to go and all the cool moves they're doing. And I think there's just a lot of different sort of extra stats you could get if you're tracking the number of dribbles and where the dribbles are going. It'd be fun to see.
I think we should get a quick flight to the Sloan Sports Conference, the analytical conference, do a little paper on
Present
wedgies.
that?
Yeah, we'll present the wedgies, yeah.
The year of the wedgie.
Yeah. Fly us out there, Cuban. Get us out there. All right, gotta take a break. When we come back, do the Dallas Mavericks have a Rondo problem? Or are people overreacting? We'll get into this fun next. Come on back.
Welcome back to the starters. The Dallas Mavericks had a small altercation within their own team Tuesday night. Head coach Rick Carlisle, along with a man people call stubborn, Rajon Rondo, had it out after Rick Carlisle wanted to call a play. Rondo wasn't listening to him, so Carlisle turned and said, "Timeout, timeout!" It was about 8:20 left in the third, then Rondo sat the rest of the game after upsetting Mr. Rick Carlisle. Now we'll talk about how this affects the Mavs, but first, let's hear Carlisle's take post-game.
It's an emotional game, and we had a difference of opinion. So there was an exchange, and then in my mind, it was over.
Is that difference of opinion regarding play calling?
I'm not going to get into that. But in my mind, you know, once it was over, it was over.
Was it that coach's decision made for basketball reasons or disciplinary reasons?
It was made because I'm the coach, and that was the decision that I made at the time. Now, how many other ways do you want me to answer the same question?
One, you haven't answered it yet. Is Rondo your starting point guard tomorrow?
That's what we brought him here for.
This is Dirk's take on the situation. We show you this because he was the only one who really hinted at what it was all about. Dirk said, "We won the game, but stuff like this is never good. I think Rajon has been in this league a long time. He knows how to play, and I guess he feels that he needs a little bit more leverage out there. But this is not for me to decide." That's from Tim McMahon of ESPN. I want to hear your guys' take because I really don't think it's a big deal.
I don't at all.
No, not whatsoever. But Rondo definitely wants more play calling, and I think this could bring them together more so than tear them apart.
Yeah, Rondo's definitely a guy that likes to be able to freelance out there. Rick Carlisle is a guy who likes to coach. Sure. We thought he would be able to integrate Rondo into the Mavericks because that was definitely a concern coming in. So I can see this being a beef down the road. I can see this kind of continuing, but also I kind of also think they're just going to put it behind them because they both won't care about it, and it will be another game as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah, Dirk alluded to it as well. He mentioned back in 2011 there when Carlisle had a little dust up with Jason Terry. There were some frustrations when Jason Kidd came in. He says that if anything, it can sort of bring you closer together. I sort of like it because I think Rondo quickly realizes Carlisle isn't afraid to lay down the law. Yeah. He ain't going to back down. And again, I don't know Rondo personally, but I feel like Rondo's the type of guy, that's how you get respect from Rondo. A guy that doesn't cower, doesn't stand up to you. So. Yeah. I'm in charge here is what Rick's saying.
Not to mention, the Mavericks were pretty good with Rondo on the bench for the last 20 minutes of the game. Devin Harris had an incredible game.
They haven't really been that much better since Rondo's arrived, so Rondo really had to earn the respect of Carlisle.
That's what we really should be talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, Rondo's struggling, a lot of turnovers in these 25 games or so, because we've got a big sample size, and it hasn't worked out as well as a lot of us thought.
Yeah, but I hate the people who think, this isn't working out whatsoever. I mean, things are working out pretty well. They have a 62 win percentage. They're 9-3 over their last 12. Plus, Rajon Rondo had his face broken during that streak. I mean, he had an orbital fracture and a nasal fracture. Listen, Carlisle is going to start Rajon Rondo tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. I think they will put it behind them very quickly. And Rajon Rondo isn't going to have all the leash in the world for play calling. Like, he gave Jason Kidd some flack back in the day before Jason Kidd won the title for that team. So there's going to be some tension, and eventually I think Rajon will get more and more of the leash. But it's obviously extremely difficult to integrate a point guard mid-season.
Especially a Rondo-style point guard.
The Mavs' biggest problem, though, is the same as before he arrived, and that's they can't beat the top teams in the Western Conference. That's really what their focus is right now. If they're going to go deep in the playoffs, they need to start racking up some wins against the better teams in the West.
I have a feeling some people disagree with us. Let us know on Twitter if you are those people, because some people, you're right, Tass, went sort of like, whoa, Rondo's out of there. This ain't going to work. They're butting heads. Let us know. Maybe you think that way. We got to unleash the fantasy unicorn right now, though. Get out here, unicorn. Time for the Starters Fantasy Minute. We're looking at the fantasy basketball implications of, the unfortunate Derrick Rose injury news that we talked about earlier in the show. Fantasy guys that maybe you should consider picking up because of the injury.
Yeah, Tony Snell's been really good lately. You might want to take a flyer on Nate Robinson if he gets picked up. If you're really bold, go for Mike James. But Aaron Brooks is the guy you should pick up. He's only 27% owned, and he's probably a guy who could have been owned earlier this season. I know Tass has him. I had him earlier. He's averaging 10 points a game, 3 assists a game, a 3.5, shooting 43% from 3. He's going to get a lot more shots, a lot more minutes, a lot more opportunity. Go ahead and grab Aaron Brooks. Backup point guards always do well for the Bulls.
Yeah. I like that suggestion. Tony Snell, I would avoid, and I'm telling you this as someone that picked him up. He's shooting the rock incredible right now.
Yeah.
That's going to come down.
Yeah.
That's going to come down. I can't.
Aaron Brooks was available. Why'd you pick up Tony Snell?
I don't know, man. It was before. It was right before. All right, guys, got to take one more break. When we come back, pick and payoff results and a very solid play. The Raptors get it?
The Raptors.
In a loss? Back to the Starters. Quick look at last night's pick and payoff results. Tass, a perfect 4 for 4.
Ooh.
He had the Mavs in that late game. I took the Raps, so I lose a game, but I'm still up 1 for the month of February. I'm 33-22. Tass, 32-23. Tonight's picks. Wow, we agree on a lot of them. We like the Hawks, the Clips, the Wiz, and the Grizzlies. The game we disagree on, so a huge game. I'll take the Blazers at home. Tass has the Spurs still on that road trip, the rodeo road trip, picking up the W. The loser, a reminder if you didn't catch yesterday's show, will have to do a show in March as one of their puppets. Arm up the entire show. That might be the toughest part.
Yeah, get working on those shoulders.
Get working on those shoulders. Lee, let's get to the very solid play of the night.
Lean pickings from last night, but I did find one from the Raptors-Mavericks games, and it did tick a few of the VSP boxes. We had a bounce pass, we had crisp passing, and we had a swish bomb. The ball wasn't really fizzing around, but it was crisp. And there's your swish bomb, and that's what I call a very solid play.
There it is, very solid play. Hopefully a very solid show. We'll be back tomorrow. Join us then.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, if your grandma knows how to text, you are a lucky son of a gun.
Brace the night, people.